I'm so excited to have our next guest on. And the reason is because not only she's like one of those unicorns, she doesn't even know this, one of those legends that you hear all this incredible stuff about, and you wonder if she's actually real. So I feel like we've known each other, like message each other a little bit back and forth, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, and you're all over the place in a good way where everybody would always rave about your content. So I started following Tanya on everything like Instagram, Facebook. I don't even know if you know, I joined her Facebook group and I'm like, I have got to tune in because she has got her online brand dialed in. She knows exactly what she's doing. So you've been a mentor from afar, and I'm excited that we finally get to connect. And we've spoken a couple times for an hour, 30 minutes on the phone. And now it's like we're just guys don't really say besties. So now we're like good friends, right? Like really good friends hanging out as we go. So welcome. We don't really call it the show, but we can call it the show today because you're on it. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rob. I think your stuff is absolutely amazing and your people. So you maybe peek into like my world, but it's funny, we never really know who's really peeking in. I'm like, how did we not connect personally for all of these years? Like you're out totally crushing it with your people, giving great value, helping people get to the top of everything with your training. And I was talking to somebody and they're like, you know Rob? I'm like, I know of Rob, but I don't know why we haven't connected personally. And then we got connected and it was like two peas in a pod. And I'm like, where have you been my whole business career? Thank you for having me. It is so nice to be with your people and you. I'm so honored to be here.
Well, we have so many mutual friends, so it's about time as we go. And so this is going to be one of the greats. I'm so excited about the content that we are going to talk about. I mean, for me, those of you that don't know this, typically I do interviews, and because I do so many interviews, I'm just like, all right, like we got it. What's the main topic? We're good. Poor girl here. I probably asked Tanya, I don't know, more questions than the last 50 speakers combined. So she's probably just like, geez, what is this? Like the interview before the interview as we go. So we are very well prepared. At the same time, we may go in any direction. As many of you know, I have ADHD, which stands for Dude Has Dreams. So there may be a squirrel moment here or there as we go. Just be prepared, be ready for it. But one of the things I like before we get into this topic here is Tanya is one of those people that has had experience from different worlds. Now, what does that mean? That means that not only is she one of those online, I'm going to call gurus that really has everything dialed in and understands the online marketing world, as she's helped over 30,000 people. Like that's absolutely insane, the impact and influence that you've had. She was doing online marketing with a hybrid of network marketing before it wasn't even legal. I mean, of course it was legal, but it was like everybody was like, what are you doing? That stuff doesn't work. Like it's got to be, I don't even know why people used to say belly to belly, because who wants your belly to touch somebody else's belly? But that's what the term was always, like, it's got to be belly to belly or it doesn't work. So she's one of the pioneers. And she's also had tremendous success in the network marketing profession. So you've got a multiple 7-figure earner that gets to take the best of both worlds and help educate us today. And so, you know, I wrote down here, I usually don't have any notes, like I'll scribble like a bunch of stuff, but I wrote down a bunch of different things of what we could cover today. So I'm just going to, hope you're okay with this. I'm just going to choose this specific topic here because to me, it was really catchy because you are a 7-figure online influencer that's had so much success with social media and the network marketing profession. So this is what we're going to cover today, because I know you're always ready. You're always ready to go. So we are going to teach the audience, talk to them a little bit about how they can cut the time they spend on social media down to, we're going to be exact here, less than 60 minutes a day. Now, not just spending less than 60 minutes a day, but also spending less than 60 minutes a day and being able to attract and engage audience. I always say niches to riches, the people that are actually interested in what you have to offer. And you have absolutely smashed that. I picked her brain, I don't know, for a good 35 minutes on several of the things. She had no idea. I'm like, you do this and this and this, and I noticed this and this and this, and this is your jam. And this is one of those main things. And so I am just so excited to start with this topic. I don't even know where we begin, but you're the queen of putting things on autopilot. You're the queen of leverage, queen of a lot of things. And so let's just dive right into this topic and see where we go.
Oh my gosh. So I'm a guru and I'm a queen. I love it. You make me feel so special here, Rob. Thank you. So yeah, no, I love the industry of network marketing, and I'll just share. I think this is important because I know that there's a lot of people out there, and I was one of those people that was spending a ridiculous amount of time on social media with very little to show for it. And my business completely turned around in 2014 once I learned and understood how to position myself and then how to manage my time blocks in my day on social media. And so now, yeah, I mean, I get to coach and work with a lot of different people. I have a, free Facebook group where, I get to hear a lot of what people are struggling with. So it helps me to create content every week for them. But I started network marketing in 2009, and I was a finance specialist, and I was working like 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I saw network marketing as a great vehicle for time freedom. I was like, hey, I can probably make around the same amount of money, because I made good money as a finance specialist. And then but I could have my time back. Right. And then, like lots of people who get started in network marketing or any kind of entrepreneur venture for that matter, they dive in, and it's almost like we trade our 40-hour work week for like an 80-hour work week just so that we don't have to work for somebody else anymore. And then we're okay with it for like a little while, and then we hit burnout. And that's kind of what ended up happening. I wanted to come to the internet because I had like literally exhausted my entire like warm market. And actually I did the warm market because social media wasn't a thing back in 2009. And I was very humble to the process of following success. And I had great mentorship at the time.
You did
And
the
what
belly to belly thing.
I did the belly to belly. Yes. Except for mine was like abs to abs. I was really wanting to just attract other people with abs
You
because I was
wanted
in
to
like
do like
health and wellness.
six pack to six pack.
Six pack to six pack. Yes, exactly. And, attraction marketing was a little different back then. But I was like, okay, I know that there's people online because I was done. I didn't have time to go to the stores and shopping malls and like cold prospect people. And plus it wasn't my jam. I'm an introvert really at heart. And so I did it for a while. I got a little burnt out with it. And then I said, I want to come to the internet. And this was before the internet was like a thing. Social media, my team in my network marketing business at the time was like, you're doing social media. What's that? And that's not part of the plan. And by the way, we are no longer going to have you come and speak and share your story anymore. Like I was extradited. So, but now it's like a thing, like they're teaching it at the conferences, and like social media is the way to build your business. And I say though, there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. I like doing it the right way. I was talking, Rob, before we went live, I was like, Rob, I don't like working all that much. I like my free time. And I think that's why a lot of people get into this business. They like their free time, but you have to work smart. And so I was struggling from 2010 trying to learn social media marketing and online marketing for my business. I struggled from 2010 to 2014. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, you've been in a year or you've been in 2 years and maybe you haven't seen results yet, like, so what? Like that's part of your journey. You will get there, but you have to like take action and you have to follow the right people in doing so. And being plugged in with Rob and all of his training, I mean, you're definitely in the right place. So I was going down so many rabbit trails. Like I was learning, so TikTok and Instagram was not a thing back then. But I was learning like YouTube, I was learning videos, I was learning Facebook, I was learning blogging and SEO and all these things that I had no idea of what I was learning. And I was told by one of my mentors to create content every single day. They were like, blog every day. And I was like, okay, sure. They have success. I'm going to do this. That lasted for about 4 months. And then I wanted to pull my hair out and crawl under my bed and not come out. I was like, there is no way no way that anybody is going to do this. Like, who has time for this? Like, I had no time to do that.
Are
And
you saying a blog post every single day?
yeah, a blog
Like an article?
post or like a video every day, and I'm jealous of the men out there because you guys can just wake up and you guys can be like, what's up, Instagram? And women, we just cannot do it because we've got this to get ready. All right. So I was like, I'm not doing content every single day and I can't even duplicate that. Like, no, everyone's going to think I'm crazy. I even thought I was crazy. So I was listening to a podcast and I love podcasts. And I followed at the time, I was really into Marie Forleo on Marie TV on YouTube. And then I was really into Amy Porterfield and I was into her podcast and she had a podcast, right? So I was on the elliptical at the gym and I'm listening to Amy Porterfield's podcast. And every week she had this great, amazing, high value piece of content that I would tune into every week. Like I would be excited for the next episode. And then every podcast she did at the time, she would have a freebie, like a giveaway that went with the podcast topic. Like it was a checklist or like a daily action planner or something. And I would like literally stop on the elliptical at the gym. And I'd have to stop because Tanya's had accidents before on the elliptical trying to like text at the same time. It's no bueno. Like I've flown across the room, hurt my shin pretty bad. It was not good. So I stopped now. And then I found myself like I'm stopping my exercise and then I'm like opting in to get her freebie. And I was really excited to get her giveaway that she gave away. And it was such high value. And I had this aha moment in 2014 that I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm taking action and I'm tuning in to the umpteenth degree to this content and to this process. And I want to attract people that are like me for my business. So why don't I do a version of that and model that in my business? So instead of creating like content and doing videos or blog posts or whatever every single day, let's just spend a little time and put some effort into creating a really good piece of content one time a week. Everyone can kind of do that. And then let's put a little, call to action. So purpose-driven content for my audience to take some sort of an action with me. And let's do that once a week. So I declared that to my audience because I knew if I just declared it to myself, I'd probably procrastinate all myself and just, it wouldn't happen. So I got on my Facebook and, I had a small little email list at the time. And I sent out, I was like, hey guys, here's how I'm going to show up for you. And here's when and where to expect me. And here's what you're going to get out of it. And I was slowly conditioning my audience to learn how and where to show up for me so that I could give my best to them. And I said, I just made a commitment. I was like, I'm going to focus on the activity, not the results. And I'm going to do this for 1 year and I'm going to see what happens. And so I ended up doing that. I kind of took Marie Forleo, who did YouTube videos, and I took her concept and then kind of like the Amy Porterfield concept and I like put them together because I was like, I don't know podcasting. Like I just didn't know it at the time, but I knew how to like turn on a camera and like upload to YouTube. That's what I knew. So I went with that. And I started doing little episodes that would give value. And at the time, I just had one giveaway and I spent 60 minutes creating a giveaway that I knew my audience would want. And at the time I was selling a health and wellness product. And the major benefit of the health and wellness product was it helped to reduce inflammation. This is what people said that it helped them with. So I said to myself, I want to attract people that are looking for that benefit. So I created a little food guide, and I actually said, I went to Google because I wasn't an expert on this and inflammation. I was not an inflammation expert. So I went to Google because Google is an expert. And I said, what are the top foods that people should avoid if they're trying to reduce inflammation in their body?
Mm.
And so I found a whole bunch of really cool, sites that had really good information. And I put a little food guide together. And I said the top 10 foods that you want to try to avoid if you're trying to reduce inflammation in your body. And that was my giveaway that I said, well, if I create this and people who will want that want to reduce inflammation in their body, they're going to be perfect for the product that I'm selling. So this is how I was able to position myself and only attract people who are interested in that benefit of which my product or service provided. And so I started to do that. And then I also had this little, full disclaimer, I was building my network marketing business, but I also had a course where I was teaching people how I was doing what I was doing. And so I had kind of like those two things. And that, 2013, I was at about the $56,000-$60,000 a year mark with my business as far as revenue goes. And in 2014, it went up to $434,000. Now, results not typical, disclaimer in there, but possible. I just want to
And
have
enough
you
to pay
guys
the
see
bills, right? You could get by with that. You were good.
totally. But here's the reason I think why this works so well is I was very consistent with content that was very purpose driven and that had a call to action that led into, helping me to also build my email list, right? I used to be very scared to talk about building your email list in the network marketing space because, it takes a little bit of work to get that going. But once it's there, it's just so magical for your business. Like I would attract all these people that were interested in reducing inflammation. And then I would, in my emails, I would send them little testimonials of people using my product and making a call to action for people to come and buy my product. And I was popping sales on autopilot through that automation. So much so that my upline at the time, she said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, that social media thing that you said didn't work? I found a way to make it work." And I said, "But here's my problem." Like I actually had a quality problem. I said, "I have so many people coming on board that I can't onboard them properly." So we made a little deal and I said, "Okay, you onboard them, I'll bring them in." And so that was kind of like a cool little partnership that we had at the time. But what it
Well,
also did
I
was,
gotta ask that question. Like, obviously,
yeah,
no one can answer, but as they're thinking, like, wouldn't you all like to have that kind of stress? We're like, what do I do? I have too many people coming on. I don't know what to do. I mean, that's called first world network marketing problems, right? That's called positive stress, which I just want all of you to understand. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. You'll see it in the headline. You'll see it in the title as well, as far as a link to join. But I just want to mention this before we keep going so no one forgets. And especially if they're on the elliptical, they may want to go pause and just go click on the link right away because there is a free challenge that is absolutely just perfect. I mean, I got all these crazy notes on it. This is going to be a buyer attraction, right? Challenge. And, one of the things you do a phenomenal job at is creating these different type of giveaways to attract the right people. And most people either don't do them or don't know how to do them and don't understand there's a whole system and process. And that's why you're going to spend 5 days in this challenge showing them exactly what it is, what it entails, how to do that. And so I want you to keep going, but I just wanted to make sure if you're all tuning in, especially if you're on the elliptical or treadmill, if you are trying to do it at the same time, make sure somebody videos you In case you fall, you send it to us. We won't laugh too hard. We promise. But, and then the last thing is, sorry, I've got all these things in my head. Remember, I have ADHD. Is you said purpose driven. And I just thought about that because that was one of the first things I thought about with you and your content is people hear the word funnel. And those online understand, some of them do. I shouldn't say most, some. And those that are in network marketing, it's like this big word to them. And I look at a funnel as really just purpose driven. You're always driving people from a purpose of driving them from this to this to this to this. That's it. And you've always thought that instead of just throwing out, I'm just going to throw out content every day here and there and here and there and here and there. It's very, very specific and deliberate. And that's why you've been able to create that lifestyle of massive leverage. So I just wanted to get those random thoughts out.
I'm glad you said that. No, I'm totally glad that you said that. Yeah. And like Rob said, like we'll leave a link for you guys if you're thinking like, well, what do I create as a giveaway? The reason why I created this challenge, by the way, it's free and I'm doing it live and you'll be with me for those 5 days. The question I get asked all the time is, Tanya, that sounds amazing, but what do I create for my business that is going to sell my thing, right? Because everyone's in different businesses, everyone has different products and services. Some people are in services, some people are in products. This can work for absolutely anything that you sell. And I have a really cool formula that walks people through creating the perfect giveaway for your product and service, kind of like how I shared with you my example, that will bring people, the right people into your world that are interested in that benefit and actually have them excited and interested to learn more about your product, service, or business and join with you and buy from you. I've been doing this for over 10 years now. So we've kind of been through some things and some things work and some things don't. I want to show you what works. But yeah, I mean, the power of this is leading with value and not just like, hey, buy my stuff. Or so here's the flow. Okay. So once you have this giveaway and you know that you can lead with it. So remember how Rob said, like, how to grow your business in less than 60 minutes on social media every day. I'm going to tell you a little secret, you guys. I don't love social media, like at all. I love spending time with my dogs, with my significant other, doing biking, doing skiing, doing boating. Those are the things I love. When I'm on my phone, I feel like I'm taking the time away from the people I love and the things that I love most. But we need to for our business, but we need to do it in a smart way. So once you have the giveaway, you know, I always tell my clients, post every day. You've got to post something every day to work the algorithm and wherever it is that you are, like Instagram or Facebook, pick your platform, like pick one place.
Don't you think also so they can start to learn, because people are always trying to figure out everything perfect and how you find your voice and discover. I mean, I started doing self audits and it was like, wow, they like this about me. Well, they obviously don't like this about me, right? And start learning as you go. I'm like, well, okay, there we go.
Oh, I need to learn more about your self audits. Now I'm scared. I'm nervous.
No, don't be, because I don't do self audits on other people. I just was doing them on myself, where I would go like the last month, couple months, as I was just trying to figure out, because I wasn't taught like you teach about these branding strategies. So I was just trying to figure out wild west on my own. So I just said, okay, well, I'm just going to go look every single month. I'm going to look at my top 5 posts, my bottom 5 posts. And as I consistently did that over the course of a year, I started gaining common themes where I wasn't a different version of myself, but I started learning what people connected and resonated the most with, so that I could be much more deliberate with my content. So I didn't have any elaborate strategy. So I just said, okay, well, I got to reverse engineer it, and just the people speak, right? They tell you what they like and don't like.
I love it. That's perfect. And you guys, it doesn't, I used to be so structured, like, oh, you've got to find your tribe and then you've got to create content only for those people. And yeah, that's true. But like when you're just starting out, you're trying, like you said, like Rob said, you're trying to find your voice. And typically you want to attract people who are kind of like you so that you enjoy showing up in your communities. So if you're into like dogs or golfing or whatever you're into, you know, you're kind of posting about that and you're trying to find your voice. And until you do that, I mean, some people take years to find their voice, and that's okay. But here's kind of how this would work. So if you're posting every day, different thing. I don't care what it is, just post something every single day. I kind of have three categories that I like to rotate for posting. Brand awareness it is one. So like something that people can get to know you by, or what it is that you're all about. The other one is success stories and testimonials or case studies. So either sharing your story or your client stories or your customer stories, whatever. Those always help for building awareness to your products and services. And then the other one is like a direct call to action post for what it is that you are selling. And so what I like to do is like to mix those up throughout the 7 days and just like mix it up. Is there like a formula like Monday? I don't know, just mix it up, have some fun with it. And then, but I would say if you're posting 7 posts a day, 3 out of the 7, but you could even do this with 4 out of the 7, you would post a little PS and say, hey, PS, if you don't have my, 10 foods to avoid to help to eliminate inflammation in your body, I created this really cool giveaway. I don't know if you have it yet, but if you don't, here's the link, go get it. It's amazing. So I'm posting 3 to 4 times. Now, every piece of content that you do, whether you do like high value content or just posting on social media, high value content would be like a podcast or a YouTube episode, something that's, or Facebook Live. I would consider that high value content because they kind of stay, and they are producing for you. They aren't getting shoved down the news feed as much, right? So, but whatever it is, you're always 3 to 4 to the call to action of your giveaway. Now, all of your posts that you have that are out there are fishing lines out in the water for your business, right? Bringing you people and eyeballs to your brand. And if people like your brand, they're going to take action on your call to action. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. So you have to have some sort of call to action. Now, most people, Robin, I'm sure you agree, the call to action in like the network marketing space is like, hey, comment me or DM me. Now, what if you have like 100 posts out there that's like DM me? And some people you're going to be stuck on this little puppy all day, every day, for the rest of your career. If you don't have something in place where you have like a funnel or a system or something like that working for you. Now, if you want to make like, I don't know, if you're the type of person you just got into like network marketing, whatever, and you're like, I want to make $500, a month, and just extra spending cash, shameless shoot fund, whatever. Like, do you need no, you don't need a funnel, But if you were here and you're like, I want to make 6 figures, I want to make 7 figures, I want to have more automation, I want to have some time back in my day, you have to have a system to do that. And Rob, I used to be so scared coming into like the network marketing space to talk about like email list building and stuff like that. But it's like, if you look at almost every single top earner in network marketing, they have an email list, right? They're doing email list building. So I'm like, I don't want to do my people a disservice and tell them not to do something that I'm doing that has created a ton of success for me in my business and has supported so many different avenues that I've decided to go down, right? So think about this too, okay? Let's say you have your little giveaway guide out there. And over the last 6 months, you've been putting out your 10 food guide.
Don't give them too much. We got to make sure that they go in the challenge where they get all the goods. 5 days worth. She's giving you too much goodness.
This is so cool though, because this is how you win contests and promotions and hit next ranks like you can really, really fast with it. So let's say you're 6 months in and you've been growing your email list. Maybe you have a couple hundred people on your email list with your giveaway. And then let's say your company says, hey, we're releasing a new product release, or it's Black Friday. And you're like, cool. I've got a list of 200 people that are already interested in the benefits and they already know me. They like me. They're showing up to my Facebook Lives. Let me do an email blast to them and tell them about our new promo. And bam, how many sales can come in? I mean, like I've hit next ranks where I've needed 100 new like customers to hit that next new rank. And in like, a month, I've been able to do it and walk stage on my next company event.
This is just crazy. I think
Um,
also people understand what you're saying right there is, yeah, at the beginning is you're starting, you're going, you're building this business. But I always like to cite Stephen Covey, where he says, begin with the end in mind. Each person's going to find out what their jam is. But too many times, I think in network marketing, leaders realize that some of the things they did were difficult and hard, and they're scared to share that with others. Like, it's not, I know some leaders that decided they were going to go live 3 or 4 times a week. Is that duplicatable? I mean, no, the masses aren't going to do that. But again, most people are never going to do what it takes to go to an entirely new level. And that's why I love interviewing so many different leaders, because you get these different perspectives of what they did, and they're not holding back. Tanya's not holding back to try to nurture you and, just give you fluff. She's telling exactly what she did personally, exactly what she wanted for her lifestyle, and how she was very purposeful on her content and her funnels to really go to the next level, which I think is just a key component to understand. Because I think a lot of times we coddle too much, because we're like, it's okay. Yes, she said it. I said it at the beginning. You just go. Don't worry about any of this. But as you're going, you have to learn some of these advanced strategies and learn which ones you want to implement.
yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And everyone's going to have their own path that they go down. But, I reverse engineer, and I look at everything that I've done over the last 10 plus years. And it really boils down to just a handful of things that you've done. It's the 80-20 rule. Like 20% of your efforts have contributed to 80% of your results. And you just have to figure out, okay, well, what is those 20%? What are those actions?
Mm.
And then we've got to double down on those actions, right? And so, being that I don't love hanging out on social media all day long, but I do like using it as a great tool for growing my brand and growing my business. And I am a true believer of, when you're in any kind of business where you don't own the business and you're representing the products, I am a big believer of you growing your brand and influence first in support of representing whatever you attach to your brand, because wherever you go, there you are. And you should be building you up. And then I call it the Oprah effect. And it's like, once you build up your brand and you deliver great value to your people will buy whatever you recommend or suggest, provided you're showing up consistently, giving them great value, and follow-up communication is going well with them.
Yeah, and people don't like to talk about it. And I'm a big advocate for the network marketing profession. I probably get every single week anywhere from 1 to up to 5 messages of people that are considering leaving their companies for whatever reason. And most of the time, I'm a strong advocate most of the time for most people should stay. Now, most does not mean all. Of course, there's different circumstances. Maybe there's some shady owners. Maybe the company is going out of business, right? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're not going there. I'm not going there as far as judgment goes. But what I'm saying is, my main point is you just never know with anything, right? You never know with anything at all. I've had good friends where something happened to, almost a couple $100 million company, and we had similar friends. You just don't know. And that's why you always have the intent, whatever you're doing, hopefully, that you're at your company forever. That should be the goal. But at the same time, you also want to be creating your brand, which actually does help the company tremendously as well. Some don't see it that way because they have a scarcity mentality, but in reality, if they have abundance mentality and they truly understand the impact that you're going to have, they'll get that. So last question, what I would say is we're talking about, and I know most of you already paused and already clicked on the link, and most of you are already in that free challenge. You're crazy if you're not. I want you to finish with what is this buyer attraction 5-day challenge? Like in a nutshell, tell them why it is so incredible, because you spent a lot of time on this. I mean, you've worked harder on this than you have in the last 3 or 4 years. So I know you're pretty excited about it. So just tell them real quickly why.
Yeah. So just after the 5 days, you will have the perfect giveaway idea. You'll have it named correctly. There's a naming formula so that people go, "Ooh, I want that and I need it, and that's going to serve me." So and you'll have it constructed in a way that will help you get massive exposure and people interested in your products, services, or business. So that's in a nutshell. 5 days, I walk you through a couple of formulas. We just break it up in bite-sized pieces. And by the end of it, you'll have a giveaway that you can use on social media to attract the right people to you and your business, whatever business that is, and whatever products or services that you're selling.
I'm just shaking my head because all the stuff that I've learned the last 3 or 4 years, even though I had a lot of success building, like, oh, I just wish I would have known this. And that's why I get so excited of teaching it. And some people are like, why would you bring on somebody who does exactly what you do? Because I actually have the abundance mentality. And I know if you serve your audience, there's enough to go around. And so I'm always going to provide value. And especially with a legend, superstar, we said queen, guru, right? I mean, that's a lot of titles. And you did deliver, and she's going to deliver even more because you're going to have 5 days of her in this free challenge. So make sure you go there, get in. You're going to absolutely love it. It's going to help you tremendously in your business. And Tanya, I just wanted to thank you. I know you're insanely busy right now. Thank you for taking the time to come on and provide so much value and share some of your experiences, stories, and strategies.
Thanks, Rob, for having me. I truly appreciate it. Your audience is amazing, and they should be super grateful to be connected to you and all that you do. Your heart and integrity is so authentic and amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it in just a little way. So thank you very much. And thanks for sharing the challenge with your audience. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Until the next time, I know we'll have many, many more interviews. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We both greatly appreciate it.
Ciao.